All right. So there is a lot here. um, all right. So we'll start with the past here. And what I'm seeing with this Eight of Swords is kind of this self-confinement, but also feeling trapped in a lot of ways, and knowing that you could get out, but you're like, you've been staying, right? You're kind of like, you don't see this crow's eyes, right? You're blind. You've blinded yourself. And I feel like this is connected to this gem in reverse, right? Because there's also this feeling of, kind of the doing the meditation, right? Kind of quarantining yourself, separating yourself, and that's kind of like, that's where you've found this gem, right? And there's also this sense of knowing that what we're going through as a society, as a world, right? That the pressure, and there are those that are, still holding on to the past and kind of resisting the change, right? What's necessary in order to find this truth is what I'm seeing it as. But within you, this has been built over time. The pressure, right? This pressure that you felt in this Eight of Swords is what made you finally see this gem, find this gem. And now you're attempting to unearth it, right? But it's like every time that you do, there's some kind of conflict, right? It causes some kind of problem. It's like you're getting this sense that now isn't the right time, right? And as you're unearthing it, because this is a shift, right? This is what happens. For some reason, I got in my head, this place that I worked, we were having some problems, and this guy came in and was like, this is what happens when, you're the first stages of when you're building a business and everybody's finding their new roles and finding their voice, and it's like the conflict arises, right? You have to resolve the conflict in order to, continue to move ahead, but it's a perfectly normal part of the process. So just know that, as you are, trying to bring this gem, whatever this truth is for you, this truth about yourself, bringing it to the surface, it's normal to have conflict within yourself about it, to see conflict on the outside. Don't stuff it back down, right? Don't do that. And I don't feel like you necessarily are. I just, seeing this conflict here, and I feel like you're just feeling that pressure, right, of what's going on in the world. But you do seem to be handling it, and, this is the heart of the reading, is the comic with this Eight of Wands. And these are those energies. Yeah, you're getting hit with them, right? These are downloads too, which, they're useful, right? This is part of the nectar here. We see the bees and the hummingbird. This is good. I mean, I feel like, it's good news. It is Mercury a little bit of, it's Mercury in Sagittarius. So there is just a touch of air in here. So there are, and I feel like, this is part of you bringing out this gem, right? Because we see all these colors here, is to kind of have these conversations with a little bit of humor, right? You're kind of like feeling it out, right? With this temperance too. You're experimenting with how to bring it out. This is also, yes, have a sense of humor, have about what's going on in the world, but also, this is above this nectar and the Queen of Pentacles, which is your subconscious. And I think that subconsciously, that yes, good things are happening, but also that, how to feed yourself has to do with grounding, right? Getting out in nature, and possibly, a garden or a plant, right? And that there's good stuff coming in. This is abundance and just feeling good. And, I see a lot of nice cards. These cards aren't bad on their own. It's just a matter of, handling these energies the right way. I think if you properly ready yourself, that this could be a really nice time frame, right? These are more suggestions as well. All right, we've got Temperance and we've got the Knight of Wands, both fire energy, but there's a little bit of water here in the Temperance card, right? And this Knight of Wands is holding Neptune, like the whatever that is called. Mercury has not moved much, and my mouth is still having problems. But this is the symbol of Neptune, I do believe. If not, I'm taking it that way. So I feel like, drinking plenty of water, right? Hydrating yourself, getting into water as much as necessary, right? To kind of temper the energy. And like I said, I feel like you're kind of testing some things out. And of course, this is, spirit, communing with spirit. There's some alchemy going on. Most definitely with this Knight of Wands here, and this is your purpose. You're living your purpose. But he is meditating here, right? Well, maybe. In a relaxed kind of way. There was something else I was going to say with that. Yeah, but of course, patience with those around us, and kind of just like being the light. There is, we do have, well, a lot going on. Mars went forward. We have the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which happened in Capricorn. This is where you might be getting some of this nectary, feel-good energy. So if you do, some aura building exercises, doing the water thing, and also, once again, this is the aura, building up the defenses around your energy field is what I'm feeling with this being in the water element. And with this Four of Wands, I'm really getting, having a structure, right? Like a routine that you do every day. and you know, this could be just routine, just anything, but with this spread and, you know, this channel, most likely some kind of spiritual ritual, right? That you're doing every day. And that is going to help keep that stability, that, or, you know, that field around you to kind of protect your energy. Yeah, I feel like, you know, and of course, this is some kind of, Victor, and you know, all of this has really, if you follow all of those, if I can get the words out once again, all of the recommendations, yes. You know, this is the shapeshifter, right? This is what we're doing right now. The magician, nurturing, all of the, you know, and these are really beautiful cards, aside from the Five of Wands here, you know, which is completely normal in the circumstances that we're in, that this energy can be good for you. When I see all fire for my Pisceans, it gives me pause. But, and, you know, I did see the last time that we had all the fire, yeah, the Emperor is underneath this guy. So, you know, that movement ahead, the manifestation, like I see it all here. I mean, like, these are good cards. It worries me for my Pisceans. Y'all are not like necessarily, well, for anybody, all this fire would have me and give me some pause. But I see all the elements here for a really lovely time period, right? Like, you know, having fun, some communication that's just lighthearted and energetic, right? There's a lot of energy here. Even, you know, some of you might be getting out and protesting, and, you know, right? It's all cool. Just ground and water. And I think build up, do some kind of ritual every day, right? This is like daily. And I think that, you know, you're going to be really stable. And, you know, it's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So she is walking down this path, and then we get to this crossroads. So there might be, you know, some kind of decision that, you know, you're reaching a crossroads here, right? It's like we're almost to the end of this road, and we're coming to a place where, you know, we have to, that we might be taking a different path, right? We have to choose which way we go. And I feel like that's kind of like this hanged man here. It's like, don't force it, right? It's not like everything is moving, you know, and I feel like that might be part of this too, right? All this energy, you know, it's like galloping on this horse. You can feel it behind you, and you're feeling kind of rushed. And it's like, Spirit's like, no, chill out. All is well. You know, you've got some time. You know, it's a slow walk, right? Pace yourself. Pace yourself. And no, you know, this never lose sight of the miraculous keeps on popping out at me, right? Miracles are on their way. And, you know, she's in this garden. Once again, I'm getting this garden kind of feeling for stability. The answers will come, right? With the hanged man here. Plant Kingdom. The Deva of the Plant Kingdom holds the blueprint for all plants living and extinct. It reminds us of the delicate tracery of leaves and branches, the beauty of flowers and grassland, mangrove and jungle, and the mystery of chlorophyll and photosynthesis. The Deva offers us great gifts. First, our food, but also medicine and healing, and the beauty of flowers. Even in death, the plant kingdom is a rich environment, breaking down into mold and algae to become the fertile ground in which new seeds can germinate. The appearance of the Deva can indicate plant healing, an awareness of the therapeutic qualities of plants and their vibrant life force. It reminds us of the need to reconnect with the earth, with our gardens, with the food we eat. Most of all, however, the message of the Deva is about gifts freely given and the ability to accept those gifts with gratitude, awareness, and responsibility. The earth is wondrously fertile, as we are reminded every year when pruning, mowing, harvesting, but we often take it all for granted. So I usually don't say this, but I feel like I didn't put this as something that I was going to include, but it says, when this Deva appears, it may also suggest that something needs to be said. A difficult truth needs to be addressed gently but firmly. Sometimes this means we need to take back our own power in the face of others' expectations. Because I feel like this relates to the gem in reverse up here. It's 5 of Wands. All right. Then, of course, we've talked extensively about surrounding yourself with protective energy. And with this guardian angel, showing up here and here, right? Spirit's walking with you. And this also says, to ask for protection from your spirit guides, angels as well. And now, let's talk about the shapeshifter, because it's obviously important. Take your time and focus on developing your gifts and strengths. And, that's what this is about too, right? There might be some problems with it at first. In native traditions, a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. If there is a wild animal you are particularly drawn to or fascinated by, it's probably because you can transform into one in your meditation or journeying practice to go exploring in the other worlds. When you shift into an animal form, you can see the world through different eyes and tap into the animal's survival skills to help yourself through a particular situation. You may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you are in a space of transformation. You are moving beyond your past challenges and honing your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. All of your past experiences have only helped you see how strong you really are. You are an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways that people least expect. You have many talents that you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. Note if you're seeing a particular animal regularly, because its medicine is coming to you. Beautiful. All right, guys. That was an awesome reading. Let's take a look at the underlying energies. Shapeshifter, obviously very important. And the warrior is underneath that. All right, this is kind of getting that Mars, Aries energy. Mountain, stand your ground. The element of water. I'm going to put this over here. Nurturing. And the Magician. You kind of look at that. The sun shining back here. I get clarity. I get that communication, right? And he's standing on this wheel too. And that exploring this new gift, this new you, right? This mastery of the self. And of course, the manifestation. There's like a million things coming through with that. That's Artemisia Gentileschi. Of course, we've talked about this first one. Use your talent like a weapon. Don't let convention confine you. So this is more about, you know, that freeing of yourself when you see him wearing blue in both of these. You know, that higher consciousness love, this being cloaked in the protection of spirit. Yeah, this is a time of this shift, both internally, externally, right? And that change of the guard, you know, I keep talking about it, but this is part of it. And in a way, this is so freeing you. Yeah, you've been confined. You've been confined in the past by, you know, what, you know, being in the Piscean age, you know, it confined you, and like being freed of that responsibility,